BTS members Jimin and Jungkook have a relationship horoscope full of contrasts, and some of them are surprisingly powerful. JiKook's chart shows a connection that feels like home, supports success, grows through travel and international fame, and is very deep on an emotional level. But there is also plenty of tension, unpredictability, and challenge. Let's find out together what astrology reveals about their relationship. Hello stars, welcome back to my channel where I analyze the horoscopes of your favorite celebrities. In today's video I will talk about BTS members Jimin and Jungkook. Fans love JiKook and feel that there is a special bond between them. But is that really true, or are we all delusional? I have a lot I want to share with you. In my next videos I will also analyze the horoscopes of other BTS ships. Let me know in the comments which ones you want me to talk about. And talking about ships, if you love BTS or other K-pop ships, you might also be a fan of pairs who play together in boys' love series. In that case, please check my channel PL Astrology, where I analyze the relationship horoscopes of PL couples. Now back to JiKook. When I analyze a relationship horoscope, I usually start with the individual charts, because they show how a person acts in relationships, what kind of person they like, and so on. I already published very detailed videos about Jimin and JK's relationships, so I won't repeat all that information in today's video. If you're interested to know more about their family, friendships, love life, even future spouse, please check my other videos. I'll put the links in the description. Today we look only at their charts together. First I will analyze their synastry, which is a comparison of their birth charts. It shows their compatibility and how they influence each other. Then I will talk about their composite chart, a horoscope of the relationship itself. So let's get started. The first thing that I look for in a compatibility chart is the placement of the sun. The sun represents our core identity, and in a synastry it shows the areas where the two persons influence each other the most. This part alone reveals a lot about why JiKook enlisted in the military together and why their travel documentaries are so successful. So here we go. Jungkook's sun falls in Jimin's second house, the area connected to self-worth, security, money, and personal values. This suggests that Jungkook helps Jimin feel more grounded and confident. Jimin sees JK as someone valuable, dependable, and worth investing his time and energy in. But Jungkook's sun is not the only planet in this part of Jimin's chart. His moon and Mercury also fall in Jimin's second house, making this theme much stronger. The moon represents emotions, comfort, and instinctive reactions. Jungkook's moon here suggests that his emotional presence gives Jimin a sense of stability. Jimin feels calmer or safer when JK is close, while Jungkook may instinctively want to protect what Jimin values. Their emotional connection often shows itself through practical support rather than dramatic words. Mercury, the planet of communication and ideas, adds a mental and professional side. Jungkook's words influence Jimin's confidence and the way he sees his own abilities. JK encourages Jimin, gives useful advice, or helps him make practical decisions. They also communicate well about work, money, shared resources, or long-term plans. Because the second house also rules income and material security, all three planets can have an important professional effect. Jungkook's personality, ideas, emotional investment, talent, and public image add value to projects involving Jimin. Working together creates opportunities, income, long-term success, or simply the feeling that they can build something worthwhile together. Jimin therefore associates Jungkook not only with emotional comfort, but also with productivity and real results. Jungkook feels like someone with whom he can create something lasting. At the same time, the second house is connected to possession and attachment. Jimin may become jealous, protective of Jungkook, their teamwork, their shared image, or something they have created together. At times, he may dislike outside interference in a bond he considers valuable. Jimin's sun, meanwhile, falls in Jungkook's ninth house, the area of travel, foreign countries, learning, beliefs, and expansion. Jimin inspires Jungkook to think bigger, try new experiences, and see life from a wider perspective. Jungkook may experience Jimin as someone who opens doors to a larger world. This is especially meaningful in careers connected to international travel and a global audience. Traveling and working abroad together strengthens their bond and creates important memories. Jimin encourages Jungkook to take risks, aim higher, and believe in possibilities beyond what already feels familiar. So there is already an interesting balance between them. Jungkook brings emotional, mental, and material stability into Jimin's life, while Jimin encourages Jungkook to grow, explore, and expand his horizons. Jungkook grounds Jimin, while Jimin opens Jungkook's world. Jungkook's Venus adds even more warmth. Venus is the planet of love, affection, attraction, beauty, and harmony, and it is conjunct Jimin's Sun, asteroid Ceres, and Imum Coeli. The Imum Coeli is the lowest point in our horoscopes, representing our roots and family, but also our safe zone. Venus conjunct the Sun creates natural admiration and appreciation. Jungkook genuinely enjoys Jimin's personality and the way he expresses himself. He can make Jimin feel seen, valued, and attractive, while Jimin's personality brings out Jungkook's affectionate and charming side. There is a sense of genuine liking here, not only surface level friendliness, but appreciation for who the other person really is. Ceres represents nurturing and the way we care for others. Jungkook's Venus conjunct Jimin's Ceres adds a gentle, supportive quality. Jungkook shows affection by making Jimin comfortable, cheering him up, or helping him in small but meaningful ways. Jimin experiences Jungkook's affection as comforting and reassuring. The Imum Coeli, or short IC, represents home, family, emotional roots, and one of the most private parts of the horoscope. Jungkook's Venus on Jimin's IC makes his presence feel familiar, peaceful, and almost like home. Jimin finds it easier to relax around him and shows sides of himself that the public does not normally see. This can be especially meaningful during stressful schedules or long periods abroad. Jungkook's presence helps Jimin feel grounded even when they are far away from familiar surroundings. Their bond carries a sense of emotional safety and belonging. The emotional warmth continues with Jungkook's Venus and Jupiter forming harmonious aspects to Jimin's moon. The moon represents emotions and instinctive needs. Venus brings affection, while Jupiter adds optimism, generosity, and growth. Jungkook's Venus naturally matches Jimin's emotional needs. Jimin feels accepted, appreciated, and comfortable around him, while Jungkook enjoys making Jimin happy. Rather than through dramatic declarations, affection is expressed through humor, physical closeness, creativity, or small gestures. Jupiter makes this even more uplifting. Jungkook helps Jimin feel hopeful when he's worried and encourages him to see the positive side of a situation. At the same time, Jimin's emotions also bring out Jungkook's generous and protective side. Together, these aspects create laughter, emotional support, and the ability to recover more easily after difficult moments. But their connection also contains unpredictability. Jimin's Venus squares Jungkook's Uranus, a planet that represents freedom, sudden changes, and rebellion. This aspect can create a powerful spark. Jungkook may seem exciting, different, and difficult for Jimin to ignore. However, the rhythm of their relationship may not always be stable. They could feel extremely close at one moment, followed by a sudden need for distance or independence the next moment. Jungkook may challenge Jimin's usual expectations about affection and relationships. Jimin could be attracted to JK's independent side, but may also find it unsettling when Jungkook behaves unpredictably. Trying to control the connection too tightly could make Jungkook pull away. This aspect works best when both people allow each other freedom and accept that closeness does not always have to look conventional. Jungkook's Uranus also forms harmonious trines to Jimin's Mercury and Chiron. Mercury rules communication and ideas, while Chiron represents sensitive wounds and the potential for healing. This means that Jungkook stimulates Jimin's mind and encourages him to see things differently. Their conversations are creative, unusual, and surprisingly honest. Jungkook introduces ideas that change Jimin's perspective, while Jimin helps put Jungkook's sudden thoughts into words. This is especially useful for creative work because they may find original solutions together. Uranus trine Chiron suggests that Jungkook also helps Jimin release old insecurities. He shows Jimin that it is acceptable to be different or to ignore other people's expectations. However, this healing may happen through sudden challenges. Jungkook could touch a sensitive point before either of them understands exactly what has happened. Because the same Uranus squares Jimin's Venus, Jungkook may be mentally inspiring but emotionally unsettling. He can open Jimin's mind while also disturbing his sense of emotional balance. Their emotional connection becomes much more intense through Jungkook's moon square Jimin's Pluto. Pluto is connected to power, jealousy, hidden fears, or deep transformation. Jimin affects Jungkook's emotions very strongly, even without trying. Jungkook would feel that Jimin sees through him and notices feelings JK would rather keep private. This can create deep trust, but it can also make Jungkook feel exposed. Jimin may feel a strong need to understand, protect, or influence Jungkook's emotional reactions. During difficult moments, this could lead to emotional pressure, defensiveness, jealousy, or struggles over control. Small situations may produce much bigger reactions because they touch deeper fears. The positive side is that Moon-Pluto connections can transform both people. Jungkook may face feelings he would normally avoid, while Jimin may learn that emotional closeness cannot be forced. If they are honest with each other, difficult experiences can ultimately make the bond stronger. Jungkook's moon also forms a harmonious aspect to Jimin's black moon Lilith. Lilith represents the independent, rebellious, and less controlled side of a person. Jimin helps Jungkook feel more comfortable showing emotions that other people might misunderstand. Jungkook senses that Jimin accepts even his more complicated reactions. In return, Jungkook's emotional openness softens Jimin's guarded or rebellious side. This can create emotional honesty and the freedom to behave less carefully around each other. Saturn adds seriousness, responsibility, and sometimes a karmic feeling to JiKook's relationship. Jimin's Saturn is conjunct Jungkook's South Node and opposed his North Node and Black Moon Lilith. The South Node represents familiar patterns and qualities we already know well. In karmic astrology, Saturn connected to the nodes is often associated with past life bonds, unfinished lessons, or encounters that feel destined. This can make their connection feel strangely familiar, serious, and difficult to ignore. Jimin may become the person who sets limits, reminds Jungkook of his responsibilities, or brings him back to reality. This can create loyalty and endurance. Jimin also helps Jungkook become more patient and disciplined, especially when Jungkook acts impulsively. He can temper Jungkook's wilder side and encourage him to think about consequences. But Jungkook may sometimes experience Jimin as too cautious, critical, or restrictive. Jimin could unintentionally reinforce old fears or patterns instead of helping Jungkook move forward. At times, the connection may feel based on responsibility or obligation rather than pure choice. Because Jimin's Saturn opposes Jungkook's North Node, there can be tension between safety and growth. Jimin may sometimes encourage Jungkook to stay with what is familiar and proven, while Jungkook's path may require more independence, risk, and new experiences. Ideally, Jimin's stability becomes a foundation for Jungkook's growth rather than something that holds him back. Saturn's opposition to Jungkook's Lilith creates a similar struggle between control and freedom. Jimin may try to calm or discipline Jungkook's rebellious instinctive side. Sometimes this can protect Jungkook from acting too quickly, but at other times he may feel judged or contained. Jungkook's Lilith can also challenge Jimin's need for control, bringing out frustration or discomfort when Jungkook refuses to behave as expected. They may need to learn how to balance responsibility with personal freedom without trying to control each other. Saturn also connects their careers. Jungkook's Saturn is conjunct Jimin's midheaven, the point connected with career, reputation, and public goals. Jungkook has a serious and lasting influence on Jimin's professional life. He may encourage Jimin to work harder, become more disciplined, and take his public responsibilities seriously. Jungkook is also connected to important career milestones or long-term achievements in Jimin's life. This placement can help two people build something durable together. However, support may sometimes come through pressure, criticism, or high expectations rather than praise. Jimin could occasionally feel judged or restricted by Jungkook's standards, while Jungkook may feel responsible for Jimin's reputation and professional success. But there is an equally important connection going in the opposite direction. Jimin's North Node is conjunct Jungkook's midheaven. The North Node represents growth, future development, and the direction a person is being pushed toward in life, while the Midheaven represents career, ambition, and public success. This suggests that Jimin may play an important role in Jungkook's professional development and the direction his career takes. Jimin's own path of growth is closely connected to Jungkook's public ambitions, so their careers may help move each other forward. Opportunities, decisions, or experiences they share could become important turning points in Jungkook's professional life. In karmic astrology, context between the nodes and important points like the midheaven can also give the relationship a sense of purpose. Jimin may somehow encourage Jungkook to move toward the future he is meant to build, especially when it comes to career, recognition, and his place in the world. Jimin's Juno creates another link between commitment and career. Asteroid Juno represents loyalty and the partnerships we take seriously. Jimin's Juno is in Sagittarius and his sixth house, forming a positive aspect to Jungkook's midheaven. Sagittarius is associated with foreign countries, travel, and expansion, while the sixth house rules daily work, routines, and shared responsibilities. This suggests that Jimin values partnerships in which people work together consistently while continuing to grow and explore. The harmonious aspect to Jungkook's midheaven shows that Jimin is a supportive professional partner for Jungkook. His daily efforts, loyalty, and reliability help Jungkook reach important career goals. Jimin shows commitment through practical actions, rehearsing, working, traveling, and handling demanding schedules together. The Sagittarius influence is very important for their international careers. Foreign audiences, world tours, and global projects strengthen their working bond. They do not only share large ambitions, they also share the daily effort required to turn those ambitions into reality. Communication can be both inspiring and sensitive. Jimin's Mercury and Chiron square Jungkook's ascendant. The ascendant represents natural behavior, first reactions, and the way a person presents themselves. Jimin's communication style may sometimes clash with Jungkook's instinctive personality. Jimin might say something that Jungkook takes more personally than intended. Jungkook may feel that Jimin questions his behavior, identity, or way of approaching situations. Because Chiron is involved, these misunderstandings can touch insecurities. Jimin could accidentally make Jungkook feel criticized or misunderstood. Jungkook's reaction may then hurt Jimin, especially if Jimin feels that his words or advice are being rejected. Yet this aspect also creates growth and brings healing. Jimin helps Jungkook understand how his behavior affects other people. Jungkook learns to express himself more clearly, while Jimin learns how to discuss sensitive subjects without sounding too critical. Jimin's Mercury and Chiron also fall in Jungkook's ninth house, which rules beliefs, principles, foreign countries, travel, and the search for meaning. This means that Jimin may strongly influence Jungkook's ideas about life, morality, success, and the wider world. Their conversations may include serious questions about what is right, what matters, and where they are going. Jimin encourages Jungkook to question his beliefs and develop a wider understanding of life. However, because these planets square Jungkook's ascendant, they may not always agree on how their principles should be applied. They could approach travel, unfamiliar cultures, or international situations differently. Jimin may focus more on meaning, planning, or cultural details, while Jungkook reacts more instinctively. Misunderstandings could therefore arise while traveling or working abroad. Jimin might question Jungkook's choices, while Jungkook may feel that Jimin is correcting or overthinking everything. But these differences can also broaden their minds and challenge their assumptions about the world. Jungkook's Chiron sits between Jimin's North Node and Venus. This connects affection, personal growth, and vulnerability. JK may touch a sensitive place in Jimin, connected to love, self-worth, and the fear of not being accepted. Jimin's affection could also touch Jungkook's wounds, making Jungkook feel comfortable but exposed at the same time. Because Chiron is close to Jimin's Venus, affection and pain may sometimes appear together. Their care for each other can be healing, but it can also remind them of past disappointments or emotional insecurities. They may instinctively notice the areas where the other person feels unworthy or afraid of rejection. The connection to Jimin's North Node suggests that these experiences may be a part of Jimin's growth. Jungkook encourages him to develop a healthier understanding of love, appreciation, and self-worth. Healing is not automatic though. If they avoid difficult conversations, they may continue triggering the same wounds. Patience and honesty are needed to turn the connection into growth. Then Jungkook's Neptune is conjunct Jimin's descendant and Uranus while squaring Jimin's lunar nodes. The descendant represents close partnerships and the qualities we seek in other people. Neptune rules dreams, compassion, imagination, and spiritual closeness, but it can also create confusion and idealization. Jungkook's Neptune on Jimin's descendant could make JK seem mysterious, inspiring, or difficult for Jimin to define. Jimin may feel that Jungkook represents an ideal type of connection or understands him without many words. This can create empathy and a strong creative bond. They communicate through music, performance, body language, and subtle signals. Jungkook inspires Jimin's imagination and makes the connection feel meaningful in a way that is difficult to explain logically. However, Neptune can also blur boundaries. Jimin may sometimes see what he hopes to see instead of what is actually happening. Expectations may remain unspoken, creating misunderstandings. Jungkook may also appear inconsistent or difficult to understand even when he is not intentionally hiding anything. Jungkook's Neptune is also conjunct Jimin's Uranus, combining imagination with originality. Jungkook awakens Jimin's experimental and unconventional side. Together they can create something artistic, modern, and difficult for other people to copy. Neptune brings sensitivity while Uranus brings fresh ideas and the courage to break rules. But his energy can also be unstable. Plans or expectations may change suddenly, especially when they were based more on imagination than reality. JK's Neptune square Jimmy's lunar nodes suggest that Jungkook's may strongly influence Jimmy's direction in life, but not always in a clear way. He can inspire Jimin's dreams, creativity, and personal growth, yet Jimin may sometimes feel uncertain about where the connection is taking him. Jungkook encourages Jimin to trust his intuition and release some control. At other times, his influence could distract Jimin from his own path or make decisions more confusing. Jimin may need to separate genuine inspiration from idealization. Taken together, the placements and aspects in their compatibility chart describe a connection filled with warmth, growth, intensity, and responsibility. Overall, this is a relationship that can offer comfort and stability while also pushing both people to change. They help each other grow precisely because the bond combines affection and security with challenge, freedom, and transformation. We are now taking a look at JiKook's composite chart that describes the relationship itself. It's not a comparison, but a combination of their birth charts. It shows the energy that is created when they come together. The first thing that stands out in their composite chart is the strong earth energy. Earth signs are practical, grounded, and focused on results. This gives the relationship a very productive quality. It is not only about feelings, it wants to build something real. That becomes even clearer with the composite sun in Virgo in the sixth house. The sun shows the core of the relationship, and Virgo is connected to work, improvement, and responsibility. The sixth house rules daily routines, duties, and teamwork. So, this is a bond that can become stronger through working together, sharing responsibilities, and constantly improving. The sun is also at the critical 29th degree, which makes these Virgo themes more intense. There can be pressure to get things right, work harder, or prove the value of what they do together. This can make them very productive, but also too obsessed with perfection at times. The Sun is part of a small talent triangle with Uranus in Aquarius and Pluto in Sagittarius. Uranus brings originality and new ideas, while Pluto brings power and transformation. Together, they can take something unusual or innovative and turn it into something meaningful and influential. Pluto in Sagittarius also adds themes of travel, foreign countries, and international reach. At the same time, the Sun squares Ceres in Sagittarius in the ninth house. Ceres represents care and support. This can create tension between work and taking care of each other. Travel, career demands, or constant responsibilities may sometimes make emotional support harder. They may have to learn that caring for someone also means supporting their growth and independence. The composite moon is in Cancer, which gives the relationship a very emotional and protective core. Underneath the practical side, there is a strong need for safety, familiarity, and trust. They may easily notice each other's moods and develop routines or private habits that create a feeling of home. Communication is also very important. Composite Mercury is in Virgo, exactly at the beginning of the sixth house, representing duties, routines, and work. This can make them good at planning, solving problems, and talking about practical matters. They may work especially well when they have a clear goal. But Mercury is retrograde, which can make communication more private or complicated. They have their own way of understanding each other, but they can also return to the same topics again and again. Composite Mars is in Scorpio, conjunct the asteroids Pallas Athena and Nike. Mars is drive and ambition, Pallas is strategy, and Nike represents victory. This is a very powerful combination. When they want something, they become extremely focused and competitive. This group is at the peak of another small talent triangle connected to Mercury in Virgo and the midheaven in Capricorn that strongly supports professional success. Mercury brings planning, Mars brings action, Pallas brings strategy, Nike wants to win, and the midheaven represents career and reputation. Because Mars, Pallas Athena, and Nike are in the 8th house, money and shared resources can also become important. Their combined effort creates financial opportunities or makes them effective at managing complicated business matters together. There is also a cradle pattern involving the ICMC axis, Mercury, Pallas Athena, and Nike. The ICMC axis connects private life with public life. This pattern suggests that communication, strategy, and teamwork can help them balance both worlds. They are especially good at protecting their private space while still functioning successfully in public. The North Node is also in the 6th house in Libra. The North Node shows the direction of growth. This again points to teamwork, daily cooperation, and learning how to function as a pair. Libra adds themes of balance, art, performance, and partnership. Creative work is an important part of why this relationship exists. Composite Venus is also in Libra, conjunct Juno in the 7th house. Venus is the planet of love, affection, and harmony, while Juno is connected to commitment and long-term partnership. In the 7th house, this strongly emphasizes cooperation and one-to-one relationships. They naturally work well as a pair and care a lot about fairness, mutual respect, and keeping harmony between them. Venus in Libra also makes them appear charming or visually balanced together. But Venus and Juno square Neptune in Capricorn in the 10th house. Neptune can bring inspiration, dreams, and idealization, especially around their public image. Other people, like the fans, may project fantasies onto the relationship or believe they understand it when they only see a small part. There can also be confusion between the real bond and the public image of the relationship. Career expectations may sometimes complicate what they actually need from each other. Venus and Juno also form a nice aspect to Ceres in Sagittarius in the 9th house. This adds genuine care, especially connected to travel, growth, and international experiences. They support each other strongly while abroad or during demanding periods away from familiar surroundings. Composite Chiron is in Libra, conjunct the Descendant. Chiron represents wounds and healing, while the Descendant represents close relationships. This can make partnership a sensitive area. Issues around fairness, rejection, or imbalance may hurt more than expected. But Chiron is also healing. Through learning how to compromise, apologize, and repair problems, both people can grow through the relationship. Composite Jupiter is in Capricorn in the 9th house. Jupiter represents growth and opportunity, while the 9th house rules travel and foreign countries. This is another strong sign that they could reach international success together and that personal growth can happen through international work. But Capricorn makes success more disciplined. Opportunities may come through patience, responsibility, and long-term effort rather than pure luck. Travel may often be connected to work and career milestones. Last but not least, composite Black Moon Lilith is in the fourth house conjunct the asteroid Psyche. Lilith represents the wild, independent side that does not want to follow expectations. Psyche adds emotional and psychological depth. Because this happens in the fourth house, there may be a very private side of the relationship that is much more intense, expressive, or emotionally raw than what people see publicly. They may understand hidden parts of each other that are rarely shown to others. Overall, this composite chart has a very clear theme. On the surface, it is strongly connected to work, discipline, strategy, performance, and professional success. But underneath that practical structure, there is a much more emotional and sensitive side. The challenge is balancing both worlds, work and emotion, public success and private security, responsibility and freedom. When they manage that balance, this chart has a strong ability to turn shared talent into something real, successful, and lasting. I hope you enjoyed my analysis of JiKook's horoscope and that you will join me when I talk about the next one. Taekook, Yunmin, or maybe Namjin? Don't forget to write in the comments which BTS ship I should analyze in my future videos. Until next time, shine bright like the stars.